quick wrap up here. I wish I could spend all afternoon with you, but I do have to do more of these appointments, so I know we've had a great time so far, but I'm going to have to be really short and sweet. The reason I mention that is I frame the appointment. I want to be in control of the appointment. So when you say that, you're now in control. So now they're going, oh, okay, okay. But they have no gauge of what the time really is. So when you mention things like that, you can sit there as long as you want with it, but you do have to kind of preface it. You know, so many reps, you probably get cut short because they're in control of the time, where they say, well, I got to get going, or, you know, how fast, you know, how long will it be. So when you mention that right off the bat, 99% of the time, you have control of the appointment, so you can basically create and mask it whatever way you want. So I do, as kind of company protocol, have to kind of review your account, your guarantee with you. Okay. So don't worry, I'm not going to go through this whole book like the college kid did a couple years ago, but this is something really important for the future of your kind of cutlery needs. Sound good? First of all, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this is a reason why I stuck with Cutco, is we're actually all made here in the U.S. You know, this day and age, everything's now made in China or Taiwan. Do you try to find or buy American if you can?
Always.
Cool. This is just a picture of one of the factory workers. I've had the privilege of going to our factory 3 times. And the reason why I show this is because we are truly American-made, American manufactured. Our company is still privately owned, so it's truly led by good spiritual and Christian leaders and mentors. And there's so many opportunities out there, but I've stuck with Cutco because I just really love it, because the company as a whole is just an amazing company to be a part of. So we've been around since 1949, so for over 60+ years, doing the same exact thing, and pretty much every year we've grown in business, even through some of the recessions and kind of hard times our country's been through. So thank you on behalf of Cutco. Even though I wasn't originally the rep who made the commission off the sale, I just have so much loyalty for our company. I just want to say thanks. Regardless if you buy $1 million more or $0 more, we have just kind of a respect for Cutco family members, kind of like yourself. So that's kind of cool. I like to mention that. And then what I did for you today is I basically, if you look really quick here, this is how your edge looks. So I went on the inside there and touched them up. You know, just after asking you a couple questions, I would say this is good to have done every 2 summers. So plan on seeing me again in a couple summers. If you really want it sooner, you can get in touch with me through my website, or I'll give you my postcard or email, and then you'll get occasional email updates from me. So that's basically just a quick touch-up. And then with our guarantee, Hannah, what's great about the Cutco guarantee is there's nothing else like it. It's a forever guarantee, and it's truly the best in the world for a few reasons. It's not covered on you or the original kind of purchase order form or receipt. It's on the product. So when Cutco makes a product, and they stamp that Cutco name and seal of approval, everything has the same guarantee, from our cutting boards to our knives to our wood blocks to even the pegs, you know, on the wood blocks themselves. So what's great about it, you probably already know some of this, but like I said, my job as a consultant, a service call professional, to kind of really make sure you get the best first-class service here. What's great about it is, if anything did ever happen, you can see I have it highlighted here, we'll correct or replace the problem. 99 times out of 100, you're going to get a brand new knife. You know, sometimes it will refurbish it, regrind the edge down, but most of the time nothing ever happens to Cutco because it's built with the best engineering and hand craftsmanship. So if anything did happen, you know, you've had yours for about 7 years, you know, and they're still perfect condition, but this is just in case. It's more like an insurance policy. Then the forever sharpness. What's great about that is Cutco actually says you can send it to them, but you do have to pay the shipping and the handling and then to get it back. So it does take a little bit of inconvenience, a little bit of an investment. And then if you went to your local knife smith or sharpener, they do charge about $3 to $5 per knife. And we just sharpened your homemaker set here, and you know that's 20 pieces times 5. We just saved you $100 today. And what I do as a professional is I offer to come out and service customers. So Cutco, unfortunately, they don't pay me for this. I do make my business off of referrals or orders, and people do like my professionalism and the way I do business. So right there, I just did a subtle little plug, and now you don't really have to mention that later. And people who are smart, they'll catch on to that. And if someone's not going to buy, they're not going to buy. But most of the time, when you say little things like that, you start to kind of, the tipping point goes on your side instead of the customer side. So that's pretty cool. So that's why it's good to kind of meet someone like me, because we'll take care of you for a long time. Misuse or abuse, this is kind of like for dysfunctional families like mine back in Chicago, where I love them dearly, but what happens is sometimes people just kind of use the knives for everything, You know, the goal is to use them in the kitchen to cook with, but what happens is people, you know, try to open a can of paint or something crazy like that. I don't think that's happening here, but just in case, Cutco would actually replace it for half price. And the only time they would replace it for half price, Anna, is if you wrote a letter saying, I ruined it because I opened a can of paint. So it's basically like self-incriminating. How many people do you think actually write that note?
Probably not too many.
Yeah, so 99% of the time they're going to just fix and replace it for free. So that's what's so great about the Cutco product. And then crazy situations, I've heard many stories of like little kitchen fires. This day and age, our appliances are made with like a lot more kind of safety and technology, so you don't really hear too many fires. Yeah, I talked to a lot of paramedics and firefighters, and they say they don't really do a lot of firefighting now. It's more just, you know, ambulance work because the day of fires are not as much. But for some reason, if something like that did happen, you know, grab the kids and the pets first. And if, unfortunately, if the Cutco doesn't get grabbed, what will happen is we'll cover that for half price. So, you know, we don't hope or wish that on anyone, but I always mention that. And then what's great about this guarantee, I don't know if you even knew this or not, because you actually have a homemaker set, you're considered a legacy customer. Do you even know what that means?
No.
Well, it's pretty cool. So the reason I mention this is because you've kind of dealt with Cutco. You said like 2 or 3 times now. You bought at a show and like a kid came out and you're
my friend's son came over.
Okay. What's great about that is you basically get to work with me and their service department from here on out, and we grandfather you into 10 to 30% discount on basically anything you'd ever need now or in the future, or for gifts or for anything. So what's great about that is it basically takes the hassle of having to deal with a college kid, because most of the time they quit, unfortunately, in about 2 to 3 weeks. You know, we want to help them succeed and give them that thrill of a sale. But when you spend that much money on a product, you probably want to work with the best, and that's why people do choose to work with Cutco Mike, and you know, you got a chance to work with me today. So what's great about that legacy program is I'm going to show you just a couple quick things. Like I said, I'm running on a tight schedule, and you basically qualify for those discounts. So if anything does jump out at you, I could show you a quick little wish list here at the end. So what our company does every couple years is they do add new products. And they're awesome, by the way, and I don't want you to miss out on anything great. There's no obligation, so don't feel obligated, but I'm always a fan of it's better to see it than not to see it, and it's better to hear it than not to hear it, because you never know. So is it okay if I just run through it really quick? You do have a pretty popular set, so you probably won't need a whole lot more, but there's a few things I think would really kind of benefit your kitchen. Yeah. Is it okay if I run through those?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Before I do that, I do like to do a couple quick things. This is Cleo, the Cutco Queen. She actually had your homemaker set about 10 years ago, and she's been someone I've been servicing for a couple years. She actually loves pandas. She's like a panda freakazoid, and you can see how there's like white and black. And the reason is because she only thought you can buy one of the colors, and when I met her after you know, my first appointment, I started to mention to her that you can get them both, like in white and black, because she actually spent about $4,000 with me that appointment, because she bought the same exact knives in white, and then the new ones in white, and then the one she didn't have in black, because she does buffets and kind of family reunions, and she's not rich or anything. She actually is just like a physical therapist, does like little massages out of her house for family members and friends, and then she works at her little subdivision pool. She just loves Cutco. And then I went to see her this past Christmas, and we came out with some really cool new stuff, like our legacy flatware, awesome, and then our legacy cookware, and she actually ended up spending another $5,000. So I'm not saying you have to do that today, but there is people out there that spend a lot of money on our product, and they absolutely love it, and they swear by it. So I just like to show that to people. Here's actually a printout of the Better Business Bureau. I also do this on my appointments because we have an A+ accreditation, so when you do buy some Cutco from me today and then refer me to a few people, your information is protected. The way we do business is 100% professional. And I've actually been featured in our local paper, so basically I'm a big deal. To kind of move on really quick to a couple of things I was mentioning to you, we do have this program where it's called the Legacy Upgrade, where you basically can take advantage of anything that kind of jumps out to you as like an interest. So just to kind of quickly go over here, so this is where I'm going to kind of fast forward, so then I start to pull out the stuff. So we have our Legacy gadgets. These are sweet. These are our forever gadgets. So basically, instead of going to Walmart or Target, you basically can kind of replace this. I think you did have the peeler, you said, but see how nice this cheese knife ice cream scoop pizza cutter is? What's great about the next thing I'm going to show you is we're the only company that's making it here now in North America. Most people have heard of a brand called Oneida before. Have you heard of
Sure,
it?
sure.
Oneida is